Okay, you are looking at a real 1969 Plymouth Barracuda convertible for 1969. It happens to be a 318 two-barrel car, but it's a factory four-speed. Um, what that means is it's one of 56 ever made 318 two-barrel Barracuda convertible. It's factory black X9 over R6 scorch red. The car came from Southern Motors out of Philadelphia. It's got all the documentation with it. I bought it out of Hamburg, New York. It was the product of an estate sale. So basically, what you've got is a very, very clean, beautiful, real black X9 console four-speed Barracuda convertible. And the funny thing is being a 318 two-barrel four-speed makes it rarer than even the 340 four-speed convertibles. There were more 340 four-speed convertibles made than this 318 two-barrel four-speed convertible. And it's in really good shape, black over red. And whoever restored the car, it's an older restoration, but they did a very, very nice job. Especially the people who put the top on. The top doesn't have one wrinkle on it. It's a beautiful job. I did some cosmetic, aesthetic fix-ups, like I redid the trunk panel here, and did some work on the interior in the engine bay, just to bring it up. And as you can see, it's a very, very beautiful car and real. One of 56 factory four-speed Barracuda convertibles for 1969. Sitting next to it is another Plymouth. This is a one of 178 ever made factory four-speed GTX convertibles. All numbers match. And by the way, so is the black Barracuda. All numbers match. Four-speed, 440 in the GTX. And the car is prepared beautifully. And what this is in 2016, this was a national first prize winner at AACA of Naples, Florida. Former owner drove it down there and got the national win at AACA with this car. I helped with the restoration of the engine bay, as well as all the trim items. And since I took ownership or caretaking for this one, I redid the interior. Everything came out. All new emblems, bases, etc. Steering wheel, steering horn. And this car was originally delivered to Salt Lake City, Utah, but very early in its life it went to Texas and spent most of its life in Texas, which is a dry climate. So what you have is basically all original sheet metal. It's not a pieced together piece of poop, which we call a triple P car. So not a triple P car, but rather a real deal 440 four-speed convertible, one of 178, with the all numbers match drivetrain and the Dana 60 rear end in it, which is a 354 Dana. Although there's not a build sheet on the car, there is a receipt history going all the way back to Utah and Texas, all the way back, and Galen Govier is quite aware of this car. I called him up when I got it, and he said the last time he knew of it, it was still in Texas. And I said, well, it's been in Florida here for about 7 years. So I updated him. And anyway, next up is a real deal 70 Mach 1 blue on blue This car I call the Blue Hawaiian because it was delivered new to Oahu, Hawaii on the Marty report. And it's the original 351 Cleveland. It's a 4-speed car. And the way it's restored here is to San Jose, California specs. So if you notice, a lot of the components on the underhood or engine bay are black. Whereas in other factories you would have some gray areas. But what you have is a San Jose car delivered to Oahu, Hawaii, and it is restored back to what it would be for the factory in San Jose. This particular car was the scheduled production date of July 14th, 1970. It was delivered on August 29th in Oahu, Hawaii. It's also quite interesting that it's a tachometer car as well as clock, blue on blue, and it is just a beautiful, beautiful driver type car. Probably better than what I would call a driver, but I drive it all the time, but it's in really, really good shape. But not a concourse car. So, Mach 1, and here you have La Collection, half of the collection right here in this garage.